you have a team that you know can struggle a bit in the early game, go for that hard push, get into that third turret at the 8-9 minute mark, and you can just completely starve them out and win a game very easily if you can take advantage of those situations. But with the Adagio Lyra, it means Samuel left, Samuel first pick. Can we now expect to see the Finn over for Team Secret?
I think Finn is an easy pickup for Team Secret simply just because they do so well on him. And of course, Mowgli is well known for this pick as well. The late game Finn hooks are crazy short, but with the Arden coming through, I'm not sure what it's going to be. It could potentially be a roam. We've whispers in the analyst desk of carry opportunity. Maybe not whispers all the time, but
I don't think I've ever whispered about Weapon Power Arden. I really want to see it. I don't know if we're going to get to see it, but Koshka coming out, that's another pick that hasn't been seen nearly as much as we thought. I like the hovers from MouseSports. Earlier it was Alpha and Petal, 2 of the 5 heroes that have yet to be picked this weekend, but we'll see if they go with either of those 2. I don't think so.
I can't imagine.
Yeah, but, well, I don't think it will probably happen.
Yeah,
either.
No, that's a lot more likely. The Kestrel going to be locked in, and now Acitor, he's been hovering this Petal the entire draft. But I'm pretty sure he's just putting on a show for us. There's the Ozo hover. I know Humanist would love to get to cast an Ozo game here, but
just got to stop monkeying around,
there's
man.
10 seconds left to
go all the way down
show
to the
their
wire.
real pick.
Well, I will say this much. Koshka into Samuel basically forces them to want to put Kestrel in the jungle position because he's not going to really have a way to get around her. And with the Arden diving in, it's going to be very difficult. The Koshka's mobility around the Finn to get to the back line is going to be something to pay attention to.
Yeah, I really like the Finn pick up there. Like you said, Koshka has a lot of mobility, but if you just land that single stun onto her, you can blow her up very easily because she's not terribly tanky, but it's a Rona for the last pick here from Secret.
Yeah, I think this might be a lane Rona. I'm not sure. We'll have to wait until they move it around. It is, I think. So this is going to be a crazy comp.
All right, well, we'll have to see if that donkey bridge is too far to cross this round, but it will be Humanist and Shin Yi to find out.
Woo! All hot and bothered after that last game. These guys, what a show. With these drafts coming into game 2, this is anybody's game. I don't even know what to expect here.
Well, if anyone was going to take the series off Team Secret, it's going to be MouseSports.
Indeed, these guys, quite the players, and you know Mouse are just so hyped off that. The kind of morale you get after winning a game on Secret, you feel the crowd's energy as well. All of that is going to be feeding into this next match.
Oh, definitely, I agree with you there. And they've gone for an interesting comp. They've got that Koshka. We saw a few Koshkas yesterday. Didn't see us all in NA. They're all at the early game again, which is, you know, interesting.
Yeah, it definitely is going to be interesting. And, you know, we not only do we have the Koshka coming out, we have the Rona. They're going to be in the game together. Can you talk to me a little bit about this lane Rona?
So lane Rona, it's not something we see at all, to be honest. I'm just going to put it there. We don't see lane Rona very, very much. But Team Secret, they've got us up their sleeves. She's got an incredible amount of sustain there, and she's very, very tanky, but she can do a lot of damage. And, you know, if she builds a Shiver Seal and gets that breaking point, she's going to be very, very, you know, very sticky and building up those breaking point stacks very easily.
All right, yeah, well, imagine with that book, she'll be able to sustain herself if she's getting the last hits up in the lane. Maybe she can close the gap, but the thing is, if Great Kali can sniff that out, get an active camo down, it could be dangerous. Now, Team Secret do make the rotation up to the lane as a group, and it's gonna be Samuel left alone, but Great Kali, they jump on him, smash him down, an easy first blood to Team Secret.
Yeah, this is not like the last game at all. There is no mercy coming out from Team Secret as they're going in for the early blood there, and I think that just really goes to show the early power of that Koshka. Immense amount of damage coming out from her.
Yeah, definitely. She's so bursty. And I think if you have not practiced up against this Koshka, which you imagine they have at some point, it's really easy to underestimate how quickly you can get chunked down.
Oh, definitely. They're going to have to be really cautious when she reaches that level 6 and gets a Yummy Catnip Frenzy, because that is, you know, very, very difficult to block. I think it's one of the more difficult ultimates to block there, and it's going to be a challenge there for Great Kali and Acitor.
All right, the Team Secret, they are moving as a unit, and it appears that they want to do a bit of an invade right here. Now, as you have Emmer King move up into the lane, he babysits a bit, but that leaves Samuel vulnerable in the jungle. Emmer King with a little bit of just a protection as he moves down into the shop. He's going to make sure that Kali is not taking any damage. Team Secret, they see no enemies, so it's Palma right back into the jungle. And as far as the aggression out of these teams, like at what point does Azater look to get involved here?
Well, Azater, he's got, he's very, very powerful early to mid game, and we're seeing Team Secret taking up a very aggressive stance, particularly Mowgli being in their bush, but we're seeing Kivalfar diving straight onto Great Khali there.
Oh my goodness, he just activates that foe splitter, coupled up with the Vanguard. It's a nice little chunk of damage.
Yeah, very nice. But Azater, you're gonna be able to bully him back, and I think this is where you want Palmatora. You want to be looking for those 3v1s, but I think MouseSports, they've caught on. We're gonna be seeing Emmerking there pretty much all the time now.
Yeah, and Palma just stalking on this little cat lady. I love the skin, the Red Lantern Koshka. It's quite nice, and he's going to be looking to be merciless, spilling the blood, painting the map red as well as soon as he can. Now, the Scout Trap actually doing a lot of work over here for Mouse. It allows Azater to realize that Mowgli and company are trying to invade. I don't know if Palma will be able to get enough damage, but he should be able to steal away this camp. Azater with a Corrupted Genius keeps himself in healthy fighting shape, does actually get his Treant. And with Emmerking, they should be able to get a little bit more. Palma actually gets both camps and should be able to get himself out of here as well.
Yeah, Mowgli's looking a little bit low there. I can't really see the chase that's going on, but Mowgli, he's going to get out. But Azater, he's doing really well with that lifesteal there. We can see how much it's doing
work. So much work being done. When you throw out that Malice and Verdict in the Drifting Dark, it is like a whole nother ability. You're landing splash damage. It's doing so much more damage total, and the range improve as well. Just absolutely phenomenal ability.
Yeah, I think Palmatora is really going to be struggling against Azater. If he tries to dive on Azater, he just has to release his Drifting Dark, and his attacks will be more empowered. And he gets a lifesteal as well. Palmatora is going to struggle.
Yeah, I think if that Scout Trap wasn't down in the Tri-Bush originally, Team Secret, they would have probably found a kill and taken the backs, everything out of that jungle. So a great job to get that down by Emmerking, and this vision is going to be so crucial moving forward.
Yeah, vision OP. Kivalfar, he's doing a good job in the lane there, out farming, and hopefully we're going to be seeing a gank attempt coming out from Team Secret here. They're getting into position.
And they're moving forward. Palma jumps on to Kali, the Vanguard to follow, and they just pop Kali a second time. It's very reminiscent of the first kill they got on him. Now, at some point, he's going to have to start to sniff this out, just be a little, and it was actually pretty defensive positioning, all things considered, but I don't know. How do you defend yourself against that?
Well, Team Secret have so much burst, early game burst as well. They're really going to struggle. You see how fast that turret is going to go down. This is Team Secret's spike. MouseSports should ramp up in their laser game much better.
Well, that's insane. This is just a 5-minute turret down. That's money in the bank for Team Secret. Map control as well. Emmerking, he's engaged on, taking a lot of damage. The slow-moving then turns, lands a quibble, but it's not enough to find a kill or even put them in a dangerous position. Team Secret just absolutely taking everything across this map. They got the turret, they've taken kills, they've taken the jungle away from Mouse as well. I feel that this is one of the compositions that they have practiced up, and after losing game 1, as you said, going to come back with no mercy here.
Yeah, this is something I love about Team Secret. They are able to switch up their strategy so quickly. The last game was very passive from the very start. This game is so aggressive. And I think once Palmatora, he is level 6 now. For them, it's all about peeling Great Khali away from Azater and Emmerking.
Definitely, and well, if they can do that, it's going to be great for them. But, Shingy, you talked about moving forward, Mouse will get stronger and stronger. Is this based off of levels? Is there an item they're looking for? Is it a combination of both?
Well, I think for Great Khali, he's going to be looking for that Sorrow Blade. He's going to be looking for that breaking point as well. And he wants to sustain fights right now. But I think Team Secret, I don't think they want him to get to that point. They're trying their best to shut him down. And speaking of Azater, they're kind of just ignoring him, in my opinion. They just don't seem that bothered. They've tried once, it didn't work. They're just backing away from him now.
Is that going to be a mistake, though?
I don't want Azater, because he's going to be very hard to pin down, and they do have a lot of peel inside of Team Secret, and it looks like Emmerking is looking for some blood.
Palma and Mowgli hanging out in this top bush right here. It's going to be Cave Oliver to start things off into the fray. Here on to Great Khali. Big damage coming out right there, but he will be stunned up. Yummy Cannon Frenzy blocked by Khali. Turns, activates that camo, and does get the stun, so he should be able to get himself out of here, but no, the Gauntlet comes through. Nowhere to run, and a double kill over here for Palma, making the Koshka work. 4-0-1. I'm sure Playoff Beard is smiling wherever he is.
I'm sure he has this big cheesy grin on his face right now, because that Koshka, that peel was very nicely blocked by Great Khali, but just wasn't enough. They've got so much gap closed with that Gauntlet. It was just too much for poor Great Khali there.
Just too much indeed. The burst coming out is insane. You think about the burst coming out of just the Koshka, but you put the Vanguard on top of it. Now she's that much more durable, and you have Cave Volfar just spinning on top of the group. That's pretty insane.
Yeah, it is, and it's interesting. He's gone for the aftershock. You know, Koshka, she's a little bit more in the meta this patch, but you know, we've been seeing more Koshka's opting for that Shower Glass, but he's going for that big burst.
Yeah, big burst damage. I like the way they've gone with this. And you know, K-Vol's on this Rona should be able to do quite a bit of work as they move forward into the late game. Would you think that this is going to be Serpent Mask into Breaking Point? That's pretty standard across a lot of builds.
I would like to see the Serpent Mask Breaking Point. Yes, I think the Breaking Point would add a lot. I want him to see a Shiver Steel. I don't know if he's going to be going for one. It doesn't look like he has the space for it just yet, but I really want to see that Breaking Point. It's so easy for Rona to build up those stacks.
Definitely. Well, K-Vol, his item progression is great. 83 last hits thus far, 8 minutes into the game, 5-0, and a pretty significant net worth lead built up as well. Team Secret, they can pretty much do whatever they want across the map right now, and I feel Mouse are going to have to couple up one of these forced accords into active combo combos that they were able to do in the last game if they're going to pull themselves back into this.
Yeah, it's going to be all about that. I want to see Palmatora and K-Valifar picking up that Atlas Pauldrons because they're going to be diving straight onto Great Khali. This is such a dive-heavy comp, and if they can do that, get the Pauldrons into Great Khali is going to mitigate so much of his damage.
Do you think it's been positioning error coming out of Mouse, or is it Team Secret just biding their time until the perfect moment to engage? A little bit of both, maybe?
I think it's more they're biding more of the time because, you know, they've dived a lot into the turrets, and I don't think there's anything that MouseSports could have done to try and stop it because it's been so aggressive, so heavy, and, you know, we are in Team Secret Spike. But what I think MouseSports should be doing, they should just kind of sit quietly and try and just hold out.
Yeah, just hold out. Azatur with the Malice and the Verdict not landing, but he's just waiting for an opportunity. He can drop that Drifting Dark and start to go to town on Team Secret. Team Secret grouping up, moving forward. That's going to be Drifting Dark forced out backwards. Palma eats a bit of damage, but K-Vol moves in with that Foe Splitter, chunks him. The Forced Accord onto 2. Can it follow? Oblivion's going to be off the mark. Glimmershot's doing a bit of work, but they're not able to lock anybody down.
You know, one thing that MouseSports could do really well is we're seeing Team Secret clumping a lot because all 3 of them are diving onto one target. And it's going to be so easy for Acid to try and get his Oblivion all 3. And if he does that, that is going to be so pivotal in their team fights. I've just not seen it come out that effectively yet, though.
Yeah, you know, as you mentioned that, it really brings to mind the fact that they're really going to have to make the tough decision. If they Crucible or use Reflex blocks on a Forced Accord or a Quibble, then you really do leave yourself quite vulnerable to that Oblivion.
Well, yeah, I personally think they should be trying to, like, negate that the Oblivion with their Crucible because a lot of them, they have, you know, K-Valifar, he can just use his into the fray to get out of the fray. There's a lot of, you know, gap closing, not gap closing, the opposite, gap exits. I don't even know what
I think we get what you're saying.
Yeah.
They have the ability.
Escape.
Yes, they can escape, they can close the gap. And it's just high mobility heroes, so they will be able to abuse that fact. And you know, K-Valifar, of course, he can get out of the fray. But you know, Palma, once he's in, the only way he's going to be getting out is going to be abusing that move speed coming out of the Koshka, really.
Yeah, I want to see Team Secret definitely trying to get more dominance over the side of MouseSports because they're still getting their 3 back camps, which is worth a lot of gold and XP. So Aster, he's not being shut down as much as you want him to be shut down. Great Khali definitely is. You know, they're stalling the lane. They're preventing Great Khali from farming. You know, 115 instead of K-Valifar to Great Khali's 87.
You know, I've heard a bit of debate on the Kestrel builds, and of course it does differ game to game, you know, the correct build, but would you imagine this is Breaking Point coming out next year? Would you like to see Crit?
I'm gonna have to think long and hard about this one. I think it could go either way. I like Breaking Point a lot, but right now we're not seeing the sustained fights actually. So I think maybe Crit would do better. You're wanting the burst because Team Secret, they're not giving MouseSports a chance to fight back.
Yeah, there's really no chance thus far, and it's pretty much just Team Secret picking a target, jumping in, and deleting that target out of the fight, and hey, maybe sometimes even grabbing one of the allies standing next to that target as well. 0-5, this is a bit of a different story from game 1, but Mouse still in a position where they can claw their way back into this game. Team Secret just biding their time. We're getting ever closer to Kraken appearing on this map, and that's where Team Secret can really start to abuse the fact that they've taken control of this map. Mowgli hanging out with K-Vol right here up in this lane. You see that Mouse really hesitant to apply any pressure because they just don't know where Palma's going to jump out from.
Yeah, we're seeing Team Secret taking a very aggressive stance here. Great Khali, if he gets too close, they're going to jump straight on him. He knows this, he's staying well away, but this is at the own detriment of his own farm.
Yeah, it definitely is. And Emmerking going for this contraption, you know, this is one of these items that we don't always see coming out. Some Finns are going to build it, and I think it's a great item. Aster being engaged on. Oh, it's not going to be blocked off. The Yummy Catnip Frenzy. And Aster will rest in peace right there, buddy. Great Kali and Emmerking left to try and defend this map, this turret. 2v3. Now, the shining light here for Mouse is that it's quite early in the game, so these death timers, the respawn timer is not that long. So just a couple more seconds, Aster will be back on this map. But Team Secret, they're in a great position right now.
They absolutely are. You know, we're seeing them playing. Oh my God, the great Kali.
Exactly. Oh my God. Great Kali. They turn around. They chunk palm a little bit. One shot's going to come out. That's the fountain forced out. Mowgli should go down here. Mowgli? Well, you're going to be taking a little bit of a nap, and it's a nightmare as he wakes up from that one to realize that he's actually dead. And forced to cord. K-Vol pulled in. Out of the fray as they can't lock K-Volifar down exactly as you said. He can get into a fight. He can get out of the fight just as easily. Now Azatur, Emmerking, and crew realize that they have a moment where maybe they can move out onto this map, but you got to be careful. Palma has that Yummy Catnip Frenzy, and I think Azatur realizing it right there, drops the Drifting Dark out towards the west. And you just lay that down in the situation where you feel like maybe you're going to get engaged on, you can kite back.
I felt like in that position, Team Secret could have taken that fight. You know, it was 2 carries against 1 carry in the room. And also one thing I want to point out, Azatur, he's overdriven his Drifting Darkness. And when you overdrive at that movement speed of goes much faster, it's very difficult to keep your enemies in that cloud. And that, I think, is a big failing.
Well, I'm sure that as time goes on, he'll try to nail that down a little bit better. But as you said, the positioning on Drifting Dark is almost everything when it comes down to fighting on this hero. And Azatur, it's going to have to be clutch with those moving forward. Samuel's such a strong hero if you're able to take advantage of his kit completely. But Mouse, as you said, they do have a very strong composition. We're getting later into the game. Emmerking, he will be able to stun these targets up as they move forward now. And I think that's one of the biggest tools that they've been lacking.
Yeah, especially, you know, they're all melee heroes. They're on Team Secret. It's very easy for them to get into the range of that Quibble. And, you know, like we said, we're discussing this before. Should they use their reflex blocks for the Quibble, or should they use it for something else? It's difficult to say at this point, but it looks like Team Secret are going to be pushing yet again. Yeah,
and K-Vol sitting on this weapon infusion. He's going to be wanting to pop this right before the fight breaks out. Well, we talked about Kraken being one of the moments where maybe we see fights really start to kick off as Mouse have anxiety, I think maybe is a way you could describe it. Knowing that the pressure is going to be that much more when Team Secret start to come down the lane, they'll be able to get that much more out of the objectives. But at the same time, Team Secret, they have to realize they're going to have to take advantage of this. If you let Mouse move in and steal that, if you lose the fight and MouseSports are able to take that, this whole game, the whole lead that they built could be completely turned around.
You know, I was going to say one thing that kind of adds to your point there. MouseSports in the past, I feel like they've always been very emotional players. You know, if they have a bad start, it really does throw them off. But I think that last game really did exemplify how much better they are. They're holding out for the long game. They're really biding their time here. And it just depends, you know, if that Koshka falls off, Team Secret are going to struggle.
All right, well, this is going to be Team Secret starting up this Kraken. She's actually getting captured quite fast. Azatur does have his infusion out. Mowgli's got his own infusion as well. Now let's see if Mouse are going to be able to move forward and realize what's happening. It's Emmerking. He's in position. Thus far, Azatur is pretty close behind. Is he going to throw this Drifting Dark out? Does K-Volifar engage? Drifting Dark. Azatur's going to be off the mark. Forced to court. Forces out the out of the spray. Oh, he grabs it! Kali gets the steal! Exactly what they needed. Now, the stun out of Emmerking. Can K-Vol find the turnaround? Oblivion's going to be off the mark. Team Secret just realized that, okay, we've made a bit of a mistake. Let's move back. Get some damage out on this Kraken. What a steal coming out. Kali, this guy is such a playmaker. Oh, it's going to be the damage coming out of K-Vol. They're out under this turret. And it's great for them that they have all these turrets here, but this is going to be a lot of money. All this infusion of gold going the way of Mouse as these turrets start to fall. Let's see how many can they get out of this. You got to imagine it's going to be at least 1, potentially 2 more. Look at the damage output. They're taking these turrets down incredibly quickly here. Now, Mouse, how long do they hang around here?
Oh, they can hang around as long as they want, but I think they're going to be Azatur, though.
Well, Azatur, maybe hanging around a little bit too long. Kali realized that it's time to get out of there. King, he can buy some time for Kraken to do a little bit more work, but he will be going down here very quickly. Stunned up. Kali's back to base. That's the double kill for Palmatoro. Ridiculous streak coming out here. 7-0-1 on this Koshka. But look at this. They get 3 turrets out of this Kraken steal. What a fight.
What a fight. And we can see here, they're jumping straight onto Aster. He's going down so fast. King, no forgiveness either. And we're seeing K-Valfor. Nice split focus there coming out from Team Secret. They need to get that Kraken down. So Mowgli, Palmatoro, they're left to take down the King, whilst K-Valfor tries to do his best with that Kraken.
Oh. It's such a stressful moment when you get into these positions. I couldn't imagine being one of these players up on that stage right now. Communication is such a big deal. One misstep and the game could completely go the opposite way. Here's a breakdown of this last fight.
Yeah, so we're seeing Team Secret. They're trying their very best, but K-Valfor, he's going to be pulled into that force core. But this is the moment where everything changes, and that one shot, one kill is going to take it all. And I think this is not a good fight for Team Secret. They've isolated King, not the one they want to get. It's all about great Kalias's hair there. They're going to back away from this fight, and they also have no
You know what's crazy, Shingy? Had that Oblivion landed, I feel like Mouse could have killed at least 2 of Team Secret.
Oh, yeah.
And they could have had Vein Crystal turrets down.
You know what makes me sad? I'm going to shed a really sad tear right now for that gold lead that Team Secret had.
Bible thump.
But stop spamming chat. But you know, that gold lead, that was like 8K, and now it's, you know, a very significantly less 4K gold.
Yeah, I caster math. You know, I let Bacon attempt to do those. I never tried to do it myself, but we can see they have closed the gap quite a bit there. K-Ball's gonna move forward. Foe Splitter to start things off. The Gauntlet is down. There's the Drifting Dark moving forward. Aztar very aggressive the way he tried to start this fight off, and I almost felt like he might have thrown that one backwards, but not going the route.
Not the best Gauntlet coming from Mowgli. Gang again, catching King there. You know, the other two were able to reflex block their ways out, and that's not what you want. You want to try and force Aster Great Khali to use their reflex blocks for something else, maybe Yummy Cannon Frenzy, before throwing in the Gauntlet, because that leaves Team Secret in a really good position to pick up a kill. But Aster, he's low on energy, he's out of position.
Yeah, he's low on energy, out of position, as you said, but they're not able to lock him down in that bad positioning right there. They're going to be able to take the minion mine away. So this minion wave will be pushing in favor of Team Secret. They're going to be a little bit more buff than these minions coming out of Mouse. It's just so stressful of a situation right here. Team Secret, if they are able to lock down Kali, if they're able to lock down Azador, they are going to be able to kill this target. It's just Mouse have done such a great job of evading all of these tactics out of Team Secret thus far. And your 3-time champions starting to feel the pressure as Mouse have played such an incredible series thus far. Forced to court in, Quibble's going to be off the mark. Close splitter out of K-Vol, the Vanguard to follow. King doing a great job frontlining for his team, but they block the Yummy Cannon Frenzy, stunned into the active camo. Oblivion will take a little nap right there, Mowgli. It's K-Volifar into the back lines. Palma, he's healed up. King realizes he's got to get out of here. The ultimate coming out of K-Volifar, spin to win. As Four-Core Jester loves to say, it's Boots, he's got to get out of here. They traded 1 for 1, and now Mouse, they smell, can they get the damage? No, 1 shot, 1 miss. That was so close. Right there, that's a turn. Mouse,
what are you doing?
The corrupted genius. 1 more, can he get it? Yes, he can. Azador making the plays. 3-9. This team was down 9-0. They are just clawing their way back into this game. It is great to see right here up against a team that you know can play so high level.
Yeah, well, this fight didn't go very well for Team Secret. We see K-Valfor building up those breaking point stacks. He's, you know, he gets the kill, but they're left in a very bad position. Mowgli, he gets caught by the Drifting Darkness, and we see K-Valfor, Palmatoro just on the run from this, but that 1 shot, 1 kill is not going to hit anyone, and that nice positioning coming out for there from Team Secret, but that is a terrible, terrible place to teleport, and K-Valfor, he's going to go down.
Mark it on the map. Bad place to teleport right there. Xingyi calling you out, K-Vol. I gotta agree, that was a very risky teleport right there. I guess he thought maybe they were going to move back and just go onto Kraken immediately. That's the only thing I can guess.
Yeah, well, that was a great, great idea coming from Aster. They've got the second Kraken of the game, 2 turrets left for Team Secret. And the thing is about Team Secret's comp is they are not in a good position to try and defend against this because there's so much poke coming from Great Khali and their melee that is so easy. And it looks like they're going to be engaging again. This is another team fight.
Forced the court off the mark, but the active camo's not. Khali's making the plays. Spin to win out of Cave Volifar. Corrupted Geniuses there. The Yummy Cat and Frenzy does land on Khalid, but it's a 3-man quibble. They've taken Khalid down. Now a 2v3 Acitor. He's going to sprint a little bit towards the way of direction of his Kraken. Emmerking just buying time for his team. A double kill. Yummy. Oh my gosh. We're losing it. We're losing it right here. Team Secret, 1 turret remaining. Acitor, he just has to buy some time. That's not really what he wanted. Maybe just, I guess he could have traded, looked to get a little more damage out onto these turrets. Team Secret will be able to take this Kraken down, but their base is burning right now. MouseSports are in a great position in this game.
I feel like such a valley girl, but I can't deal with the action right now. I just can't deal. I just can't deal at all. But that turret, look at that turret.
Woo! Take a breath. Calm down.
Compose ourselves.
I can hear the crowd out there. These guys are hyped up. I can't believe we can hear it all the way in the back. Look at these guys. Team Secret absolutely focused in right now. And you see the communication out of Mouse as they're just making sure that they understand how they want to approach these fights. You need to be focusing a target down. One slip up. If you target one person, your ally targets a different person. The fight is completely going the other way. Oh my goodness, no room for error here.
Yeah, you know what? I think I want to see more team vision come in from Team Secret because MouseSports is in a great position just to run to that base. They have so much vision down, but Team Secret, Mowgli, he's in a risky position trying to get rid of those scout traps. Ooh.
Mowgli, almost the Von C of supports right now. Just no fear, just clear scout traps. As he moves forward, getting quite a few of those out. And you were just mentioning that the vision was going to be such a big deal. I think it's a great job that he's able to do that. And yes, he can Vanguard himself, get out of there. He can throw Gauntlet if he has to. So I think it's quite all right that he moves forward like that as long as he doesn't get caught. Flares coming out of Emmerking. They know exactly where their opponent is hiding. It's going to be forced to cord. Not landing, but a very short cooldown. 10 more seconds, he'll be able to throw another one of those out. You get into the late game like this, and Finn is so powerful for this reason.
Yeah, this is the calm before the storm. I think both teams are just kind of measuring each other up. And MouseSports, they're in a very tricky position. Do we just fight it out now and potentially lose it all, or do we just run for that base? The decision making from these two teams is just so incredible.
I definitely would lean towards just stay playing a little bit safer, but a 2-man equivalent start things off. Oblivion's gonna be off the mark. Palma, it's on to Great Kali. The Gauntlet stunned him up as well. Kali, can he get himself out? The active camo, so much weapon power, he can get that off right in the middle of the fight. Acitor and K-Vol trading back and forth. Looks like K-Volifar is getting the better of this trade. Acitor, one more shot, he goes down. K-Volifar's got the kill. Emmerking, all he can do is buy time, applies that Atlas, and just tries to find some stuns as Great Kali gets himself back out to base. But this is going to be Kraken going the way of Team Secret.
Yeah, that was a fantastic team fight there coming out from Team Secret. They clawed it back, and I loved the decision-making coming from K-Volifar. He saw that Acitor has absolutely no armor. He is the best counter. It's the best for him to dive straight on and get as much damage done as possible, and it worked. They got 2 out of 3 kills. MouseSports, they're not looking as comfortable as they were, but Team Secret, they're also in a very tricky position here.
Is there a way where Great Kali can backdoor this right now?
Oh, I think he could. Nope, he's not going to steal it.
Okay, well, he had the godlike steal earlier, not able to steal this one out, and he's going to play this quite safe. This is probably the proper play. Emmerking looking a little bit frustrated right here, knowing that they were so close to just closing this game out. Now the Kraken going the other way. Team Secret starting to reach their final form as K-Volifar has that Shiver Steel you talked about before, the breaking point, the Serpent Mask. He's got his own Atlas, the Tier 3 boots as well. He's got everything he needs to accomplish these fights.
Yeah, they're taking one turret down. Kraken is here.
Kraken is here, slowly lumbering down the lane. MouseSports have to feel the pressure. Force to Court's going to be off the mark right there. And as we said, he will be having that up very quickly again. Polite Company out just to buy them a bit of time and durability. Acitor, Malice and Verdict coming through, just trying to find that chip damage. I think the worst thing they can do is overcommit to one of these fights right now. Just get that chip damage down, and K-Volifar hooked, but out of the fray, so they're not able to follow up on top of that. I think that'd be a great spot for the active camo to go down in the future for this team. It looks like Team Secret want to back out of this one. I think it's the smart choice.
Very wise choice. They are still in the lead in terms of gold, 50.6 to 45.0. And you know what? Both teams are down to those last two turrets there. They're in the same area. It's looking very precarious for both of the teams, and it feels like we're seeing Team Secret making a comeback, and they need to win this game to prevent themselves from dropping down into the losers bracket.
Definitely. I think for both of these teams, it's like a car teetering on the edge of a cliff. If one bird lands on the hood, it's going right over the edge. Just one small mistake. You step forward just a little too far. You do not crucible. You don't land that reflex block. It's going to be game over. It's going to have to take flawless play. Team Secret moving forward. They find the engage. They want to start this fight. They forced it. Ember King is trying to find the damage, or the CC in the backline, but it's K Volifar finding the damage on a Great Kali. Ember King uses his boots, trying to get away out of here. He uses that Atlas as well. Stun comes through. The one shot won't kill, just doing a little damage. Great Kali, nice block on that yummy catnip frenzy. And a 2v3 should be just enough to allow Mouse to defend.
Yeah, maybe it wasn't the cure they're looking for when they picked up that Finn kill, but one kill is good enough for Team Secret, and I really like the way they kind of aggress onto Great Kali and Astair, forcing Ember King to kind of hover in the back, and from then on, oh my gosh, is this going to be a jump?
Well, it looks like it's going to be a jump. Astair, oh, it's the reflex block out. He drops the Oblivion on top of his face. Well, it doesn't matter if he goes to sleep after you're already dead. Astair did not see that one coming. Team Secret are in the base with the minions. Our Team Secret doing this right now. Ember King, 20 more seconds. How do you, oh, Great Kali, we know you're a stud, but if you can make this play right here, absolute legendary status.
Great Kali has been doing a fantastic job with the active camos. Have you been seeing in those team fights? You know, he's catching 1 or 2 people out every single time. There is a lot on the side of MouseSports as Team Secret, and they really do have to prioritize which things they need to block. And right now they're choosing the Oblivion, which I think is a fantastic choice.
Yeah, they are making the right choices right now, and I love that they're not sitting back and they choose to aggressively engage, and it forces your opponent into a little bit of a panic almost. I don't think Mouse is fully panicking, but that aggressive engage can make those tendencies.
Yeah, but they're going the Kraken again. Are we going to see a seal? Are MouseSports going to try and fight this one? I don't know. I just don't know.
I don't know either, but look at the scout traps down everywhere. Mowgli has laid a minefield down, and Mouse, they're a little bit late to the party. Do they realize, where's the Force Accord? It's not there. If they go down, this is game. Well, the Gauntlet's down. It's going to be a blocked Atlas coming out, but they do land the Atlas in the opposite direction. K-Vol looks like he's trying to wrap around the top side. Force Accord's going to come in. He's stunned up. Can they chop him down? Can they get him? No, they can't. K-Volifar, he's able to get himself back out a little bit. He has the Serpent's Mask, and they're holding the fountain, so he's going to regen up quite a bit as soon as he gets onto target. Mowgli eats the one shot. Azadir moving forward with a Drifting Dart. Malice lands. The verdict? No, it's gonna miss. But Azadir moving backwards, you cannot be locked down right here. Active camo almost procced off there, but just not quite. Yummy Catnip Frenzy lands onto Kali. They have the damage to follow up. He's fighting in the active camo. The fountain comes out. They need to get K-Vol.
Oh.
They trade 1 for 1. Kali's down. Azadir's going to get this damage. Ember King with the quibble. Is it gonna be enough? Yes, it is! Kraken's in the base! Kraken is in the base! Paul Maturo, he's gonna get in.
Run!
Try to get as much damage as possible down. Azadir, what is the play? He ports back. The Force Accord is off the board. Paul Maturo is dear. He's here with the Kraken. They're doing it. Team Secret, they're gonna be able to close this game out. I do not think they have enough damage to debuff this. They take him down. That's the ace, but the Kraken is gonna be able to close this game out. Just making the plays happen. Team Secret able to close out game 2.
Team Secret, what a game. It looks like they lost it. It looked like they lost it, but they didn't.
I lost it.
I know you lost it. I could tell. Pacing,
oh my goodness.
the yelling. Oh, look at the relief on K-Volfar's face. Look at his face.
What a series. These teams managed to put together some of the most intense games I've ever cast.
It's been a pleasure.
It is beautiful, and to think we have one more coming up after this, it's just nuts.
I cry a beautiful tear this time.
Yeah, just Bible thumps for days.
May the best team win.
But you know, coming out off a win like that, your morale is so high, to almost have the game and have it slip through your fingers like that, it's got to be real tough.
That was a back and forth game, and you know, looking at the comps, as I said, Team Secret, if they get past 20 minutes, you know, it's going to be very difficult for them to win. And then it looked like it. You know, they did really well. They started falling down, and then they just brought it all back.
They brought it back indeed. 11-1-5. Palma, what a Koshka.
You know, I've got to say, I think Ember King, he was doing so well at the start of the Force Accords, but at the end, I just felt like he was missing a lot of the hooks.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure where it all went wrong for Mouse at the end, but know a couple of guys who might have some ideas. Forecourt Jester, break it down for us, bud.
I mean, like, Humanist lost it all. We all lost it all in the back. I'm not even going to take a stab at that. I'm just going to give it to Fuji because, like, that game was just so high level.
Yeah, I mean, so we see this insane early aggression comp coming out of Team Secret with the Koshka and the Rona pick, and it does so well, but it's a risk, a high-risk composition, because if you make any mistakes, you're bound to lose the game, and we saw they did make a mistake, and not only that, they had a few teamfight mistakes, but then Asseter actually takes the Kraken with the one-shot, one-kill, elongating the game and giving them more time to get back into it. But then I think both teams must have had pretty sweaty palms by the end because there was a lot of craziness going on with teams kind of just scrapping here, fighting here, and man, what a wild game.
Yeah, I mean, MouseSports were pushing crystal turrets while the kill score was 3-12 against them. Like, that's just ridiculous. How does that even happen? And like you said, it's just this composition from Secret was so high risk, high reward, and they made a couple of mistakes late, and it very nearly cost them the game and the series.
Yeah. We used to joke about this a little bit. Welcome to Vainglory, where the objectives are key and the kills don't matter. And we talk a lot about that on our own casting here, Bacon. 3-12, and the 3 winning would have been a huge upset at the highest of levels here.
Yeah, it really would have been. And there's a couple of like tiny things we could even look at that might have given MouseSports the edge. We saw the Atlas Paul